Hey everybody, welcome back to part 14b. In this part, we're going to continue styling our views, and I'm going to be pausing videos here and there so I can fast forward and make sure that you guys don't get bored at all. Now, I'm going to come to Visual Studio Code. We're going to continue styling this. It looks pretty much pretty terrible. But first thing I want to do, I want to remove there's too much spacing here because we need as much space as we can use, and I know like everyone to each their own. But I'm going to do the container fluid. The container fluid is just a Bootstrap class. You can view it later on your own time. Go to Bootstrap and type in container fluids. Come back to application, to your application here in Visual Studio Code. Click on views, click on users, click on dashboard.html.erb. Now here in regards to the container, I'm going to do a container fluid. So container dash fluid. I think it's container fluid. Copy this fluid part, and then in the row, I want to put dash and then put fluid also. Now save this. My server is running. Come to localhost 3000 dashboard and refresh. So now this looks a little bit better because it's taking up the whole entire view. Okay, so next thing I want to do is make sure that these guys here, first of all, are looking really ugly. And come back to Visual Studio Code. I'm going to go step by step. Here's a navigation. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to type in dash net. Hold on, like that. Wait, this is a comment, right? So I'm going to say navigation for dash, okay, for dashboard, okay? So navigation for dashboard, I'm going to collapse the unordered list, okay? And here also, this is also a row here. So there's the first row, and then this is the second row. So my goodness, huh? So all right. Actually, what if we did this row of fluid too? What would happen? Save it, come back here, refresh. It looks like crap. Excuse my language. So the profile is here. It's in column extra large 4, which means in extra large screens, it holds 2/3 of the page, 2/3 of the row. So I'm going to collapse this. And remember, here we have a card header and a card body. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do here too. So I'm going to just, let me save this first and then come back to see it. That's what I'm going to do here too. I'm going to put a card header and a card body to wrap all these 2 columns, or 3. We're going to make 3. Okay. So I'm going to collapse the profile, okay, which it's not in the row. The profile is in the row. So I'm going to collapse the profile, so like this. And I'm going to put a space just so that we know what's going on. And so obviously in this column here, column extra large 8, is occupying 2/3 of the row. And in large screens, it occupies 7 out of 12. So 7 divided by 12, you can do the math there. So I think here, yeah, so in here, inside this column, we also have a row, okay? But the thing that we need to do is actually we need to put a card instead of that row. We need to put a card, right? We need to put a card because, well, no, hold on a second. No, this row is fine. This row is fine, but we need to encapsulate a card inside each column, which we're doing correctly here. But we need to remove this style width 18 rem. This is bad because the thing is when we're coming like this, look, this we already called that we want a full in small screens. We want 12. Small 12 we said, right? Look, we said column small 12, but it's not showing. So we need to remove this style width. We need to remove that. Okay, so let's save this like that. Come back here and refresh. Okay, that looks a little bit better. It looks a little better. And we need to put a so since we have a card for each one of them, that's fine, but we definitely need to put a card under encapsulating a card and a card header. Okay, we need to put a card. First, let's start with a card, okay, to put these 2 guys together. Because here we have a row, but we should leave this row here, and I'm going to remove this here just because it's confusing the heck out of me. Okay, and I'm going to come here, and here I'm going to put a card. I'm gonna put a div with a card, and we can yeah. So I'm gonna put a card. I'm gonna put a div dot card div dot card, and with a shadow dot shadow and margin bottom 3 dot mb dash 3, like that. Okay, so that's the card. That's the same thing that we did. Basically, I'm doing what they're doing here on the left side. Okay, so once we do that, I'm gonna collapse the row here, which starts here. It contains the 2 columns. Okay, so end of I'm just gonna put a space there so you could see it. Okay, it contains the 2 columns. I'm gonna collapse this row, and you see this card that I did. I'm gonna grab this end div, Command X, and I'm gonna put it right here, so that I wrap this row. I'm gonna take off some white space, so I can wrap this row inside the card. Okay, so we have a card. Now, if I were to, if I was to, I uncollapsed it. Now, Command S to save, come here, refresh. You're gonna notice this is gonna be inside a card. Okay, now, the reason why you're not seeing this is because we don't have a card header. So now what I'm gonna do, right after the card, I'm gonna do exactly what they did here in the profile. So I'm gonna just grab this card header, copy, okay, and then I'm gonna collapse the profile again, and come back here. I'm gonna put it under the card, right inside the card. I mean, Command V, make it look pretty, and then left curly brace. Okay, Command S to save it, and I'm gonna call this dashboard. Okay. Now this is still not gonna look all that great because there's no body. There's no card body. So again, back to the profile, it says after the header, there's also a card body. So I'm gonna just put a card body div. Okay, so we have the card, and then we have the card drop down. I mean, sorry, not the drop down. My gosh, to remove this is confusing. Card header, and after the card header, we have a row. So in that row, we need to encapsulate that row with a div dot card dash body, like that. Div dot card dash body. Okay, this is it, but it's empty. I mean, we didn't put anything in it now. So I'm gonna just like collapse that row, and I'm gonna move that row, hit the tab key. Okay, and I'm gonna cut this end of the div and then put it here, like that. I'm just gonna remove some of the white space. I'm gonna uncollapse it again. I'm gonna do Command S to save it, come here, and this should be look a little bit better. So now that we have this done correctly, if you change the screen size, you're gonna notice that what we said about we want it to be 12, it's gonna look nice. 12 meaning like, I'll tell you what 12 I mean. Right here, if you look at, so we have a row with a column for each card. We are putting a column small 12. So when it's a small screen, I think it's below 768 pixels, it should show the full dozen. You know what I mean? So 12 out of 12. But when it's a large screen, show 6 out of 12. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna say, I kind of wish I could say extra small. I can't remember if there's extra small in Bootstrap. Bootstrap 4.5, but there's so many versions of Bootstrap, I lost track. I'm sorry. So what I'm gonna do is say large 4. Okay, large, I want it to be 4, and I'm gonna add an extra column. Hang on a second. So large, I want it to be 4, meaning like I want 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. So I want 3 of these cards. I want 3 of these columns when the screen is large, and I think that's above 1020 pixels. That's the large screen. And then I want to have in medium screens, I think between 768 to 1080 or something like that. In medium screens, I want it to be, so let's just do it like behind the large. So I want it to be call dash MD dash 6. Okay, take off some of the space, and then for the small, I don't know about the small, to be honest. For the small, I think, oh boy, you know what? Let's just leave it like that, I guess. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove. I'm gonna copy these classes here. Okay, I'm gonna copy these classes, and I'm gonna put them in here. Okay, and and I'm gonna grab one more column, copy, and I'm gonna paste it in there. Okay, like that. Save it, come back here and refresh. This should look pretty good. So we're gonna have all our pets like that. So that looks all right. I mean, it doesn't look bad. So if I do, this thing, inspect elements, and I'm gonna change the screen sizes. So technically, you can see here, make sure this is 100%. Is when it says 95%, that's just a bug in Chrome. So click on 100%. Always make sure it's at 100%. This is this is 1440, like a MacBook Air, for example, the one I'm using right now. Here it's gonna be, I believe this is the medium, 1024. That's the medium, and anything above, like if you go to 1025, it becomes a large. No, this is the medium. Yeah. Anyway, I don't remember, and I can't keep up, but that's how it's gonna look. And as you can see, this looks pretty damn ugly. So it looks pretty ugly, right? So unfortunately, this is not looking very nice, and it looks ugly in this screen for like an 11-inch laptop. It's gonna look pretty damn ugly. As ugly as, I mean, can't get uglier than that. Now here it looks pretty cute, and I think this is the column MD. So from 768, I'm just using my cursor. You see all the way as it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It stays the same until it hits the screens of 12, and you see, and then it becomes large 4. So that's 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. 4, which is 4 out of 12 is 1/3. So 4 eggs out of 12 eggs is basically that 4 eggs means it's 1/3. So 33%, 33%, 33% each column. So that's not gonna work. That doesn't look too right. Column large 4 doesn't look right. So let's do column large, my goodness, column large 6, and then we won't need this column large 6 on MD. And let's do a column large 6 again, and we won't need that MD. Love of God. And we don't need this column MD. Just make it 6. Everything column large 6. So that way it will be, 2 side by side, and then the next one. So there's 3 only. As we refresh here, you'll see 3 only, and then the next one will be like that. So that looks a little bit better, more manageable. And look, if you grow it big, 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 and if you go to like there's an other size, like a massive screen, which is 20, it would look like that. So we need to say extra large, column extra large. So I'm gonna copy this, and then paste column extra XL, make it 4. Okay, so I'm gonna do copy. I'm gonna do here copy, paste, and then the up one here, paste. So for the extra large, it should be stacked up as 3 there. So that's the very large screens is gonna look like that. Anyways, may God save me because I'm here. I'm stressed out. I'm really stressed out. I'm like, working with these styles and having, that's why full stack developers are not easy to find. That's why, guys, never give up on Ruby on Rails. It's an amazing talent to have, to know how to develop full stack, front and back end. And don't listen to all these people who are like, oh, React and Angular and la la la. With Ruby on Rails, you can build amazing things, guys. One person can build amazing things. Like 1 or 2 people can build like a huge, massive application, just like Shopify, literally, and it works amazingly. Okay, so, but it's a lot of work, and that's why Ruby on Rails devs get like 120,000 a year for a medium developer, really, and they really do. They say it's 90,000, but you get all kinds of, or 70,000 here in North America. You get all kinds of incentives and retirement plans and bonus packages and all kinds. So, and then you look at JavaScript developers, they get like 60. They get like 60,000 or 70,000. It's not the same because everybody wants to learn JavaScript, and no one knows. Not no one. A lot of people are just not. There's no new developers being produced through Ruby and Rails or Django Python. So, it's a full stack framework. Anyway, enough with my rant. But bottom line is that this looks a lot better now. That's what I want to talk about. And this spacing here is really bothering me. So I'm gonna put, like, with each one of them, I'm gonna put anyways, I'm gonna put for each one of them, I'm gonna put a margin top in each one, empty one. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do a empty one, empty dash one, margin top one, margin top one, margin top one for each one of them. Okay. I'm gonna put like that because later we're gonna loop through all the pets that we have and we're gonna show them like that. Okay. So like that. There. So when we go like this now, you're gonna see some sort of like separation in between them. All right. So I mean, you know, and it's gonna look fine because now it's gonna be a lot higher than. Let's do MT2. Okay, that was too small. MT2, MT2, MT2. So guys, I want to just get into the meat and potatoes now, into the more important things. I'm just gonna like not skip through. I'm just gonna move into the more important. Now this part here, the profile. You're probably thinking, oh, well, we have like a / profile. We do, but we're gonna do it one step at a time. The dashboard, you need to be able to edit your profile. Okay, so in regards to editing the profile, this is not gonna be easy. Okay, this is not gonna be easy, but I want to go step by step with you guys. And it's going to be hard for me to also explain this because I'm not an expert. Okay, I'm learning with you guys as well. I'm really literally learning with you guys. Like, don't think of me as something like, I'm learning. I'm doing a lot of googling, so this is a learning curve for myself also. But what I want you guys to do is come back to SB admin, and over here I want you to grab this, because what I want to do is I want to put here the name, the location, the status, da da da. Okay, so and I want you to come here and anyways, come back here and go inspect here. Go to inspect like that, and I want you to grab. What is this there? Let me just come back to normal screen. Grab this here. Okay, so inside, just click this and then select the whole container there. And it's actually a card. It's a card with a border left, primary, shadow, la la la. And here, just right click and do edit as HTML. And you're gonna see this just like this, guys, just like this. Okay, grab this. Okay, just grab this, copy, and come over here to Visual Studio Code. And what I want to do is inside the profile. Inside the profile, I want you to uncollapse this. And first of all, collapse these, collapse all this. Okay, collapse that. Collapse that. Okay. Hang on, let me just make this look prettier. Okay, I hope I didn't make any mistakes there. So maybe I'll, yeah, and this is the profile. So I collapsed, this is the dashboard. This is the dashboard part. This is the profile. So I'm gonna uncollapse the profile because that's what I wanna work on now. And inside the card body where it says the image, I'm going to paste in what I copied. And when I paste it, it's gonna look terrible, but you just have to make it look good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this over here, command, hit the left curly brace like that. Okay, so I'm gonna put a space here, and this one ends here. Okay, you see, you can follow that line. And you're probably thinking, why am I doing this right now? I'll tell you why. Hang on a second, I'll tell you why. This is ridiculous. Like when you come here and you do this, it's ridiculous. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna put the name, and can you imagine? It's just gonna be like a big image like this, and then the name. It's just not. What if you have like 10 lines to put in, like name, location, status, number of pets, adopted, blah blah blah. So I want this to look better. Believe me, it's gonna look better. And we pasted this information here. Let's do Command S to save it. Okay, so we pasted that. And this, but hang on, if we come here and we refresh, it's gonna look, oh my God, it's gonna look like, wow, what's going on? Why would you put this? But I'll tell you why. Just give me a second. Come back to Visual Studio Code. And in regards to this image here, this is like a little icon, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this image here instead of that icon. So I'm gonna grab this image, Command X, okay, Command Exit, and I'm gonna remove some of the white space, and I'm going to replace it with that icon right here. Instead of this icon, I'm going to do that. There, Command V. And if I save this and come back, it's going to look funny again because we need this profile round is a class that we made, and I'm going to like edit it, or I'm going to add another class instead. Command save, come back here, refresh, and you're going to notice it like that. So now I need to change this. So I'm going to create like a class. So if I do inspect here, and hang on a second now. Inspect, and I look at the profile round, and I change this to, let's say, something like 80. That will be perfect like that. That would be perfect. But there's a couple of things I don't want. I don't want to have this thing on the left. So what do we grabbed? Yeah, okay. So I don't want that thing on the left. So this pet adoption thing, let me just come here. I'm hovering over everything here. This is the card body. That's the one that we just pasted, the card header, card body, and then inside the card, again, there's another card inside the card body. So this border left is border left primary. I don't want it. I don't want the shadow. So if I was to remove here, remove the shadow, and I was to remove the border left primary, and then this H-100, leave that, and click away from it, you're gonna see that. And if I remove the card, let's see what happens then. That's it. It's gonna look just like that. It's gonna be perfect. So look, we just kind of cheated here in a way. So come back here, and we don't need the border left primary. We don't need the shadow. Okay, remove that, and then we don't need the card either. Okay, just the H-100. I don't know what this is the height. We don't, yeah, H-100, H-200, I suppose. This is self-explanatory. PY is padding up and down the y-axis. So up, padding up and down too. I think it's like 20 pixels too. Save it, come back here, refresh it, and there you go. So, but again, the profile needs to change. So let's hear the profile round. We said we're gonna put another class called, perhaps we can put another class, and we can call that class profile round small. Okay, profile round small. Okay, so copy this class, copy it, come back to application.html. No. Come back to asset style sheets application.css. Come to the very top, and the profile round, I'm going to do another class. Hang on, dot profile round dash small, open close bracket, and then I'm going to put width 80 pixels. Okay, save it, and then grab this profile small, copy it, come back to dashboard, and instead of profile round, I'm going to paste the class we just added. Save it. Make sure you save application.scss. Refresh this, and it should look pretty darn nice. Okay, very good. So that's that. And the thing is, I don't want the profile to be on the right. So what happened here? I know what happened there. It's not round anymore. So come back here, border radius 50%, copy, and then put it there. Okay, so come back to dashboard. Now, you know that the image is on the right. So what if I grab this whole container here and I cut it and I put it on top, because you see, this is the first column, and then this is the second column, okay? So if I cut the second column, Command X, and I put it on top of the first column, like that, you know, and like this, as you can see, and save this, and then come here to Chrome and refresh it, and you're gonna see it's gonna be reversed. And the profile picture is gonna be round as well. And there's no spacing there, there's no spacing. I can, yes, I know why there's no spacing, because over here it says MR2, margin right 2. Now, instead of saying margin right 2, I'm gonna say ML, which is margin left dash 2, because we switched it around. So come here, refresh, and it should say margin right 2. You see? So even instead of that, and then it says, oh, it must have a, it definitely must have a come back here, there's something else. That's this other column, auto. No gutters, align items left. Align items left. Save it. Come to Chrome, refresh. Oh, No. Command Z, align item center, column auto. So why don't we change the column auto, copy the column auto and put it here, and take the column, the call, right, okay, cut this, cut that, and put it here, and then say margin R, MR2. How does it look now? It looks so funny. So Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. Where did I? Alt L, margin left. This is save it, and then so where are we getting this here? The margin left, right, margin right is correct. No, margin left for these guys. So let's. I mean, yeah, that's not bad. That looks pretty good to me. So it's gonna be the name, and then this is not our, yeah, this is card body, and we don't. What if we remove the card body? What would happen? Ah, perfect. Remove the card body. Okay, so we don't need a card body. So this ends here. So let's remove this div and remove the starter of the div, and then we just have a row. Command left curly brace, save it, come here and refresh. And here we don't need a card body. So we kind of like, taking a little shortcut, and it looks much nicer. You see, everything is lined up, because it's not like we can't put a card within a card within a card. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, all right, so let's just get started here. Let me give you an example of what we can do. Like here, the text uppercase, and then here it says text extra small for earnings monthly. Well, we can do text small, SM, okay? And font weight bold, text primary, text uppercase, that's fine. Margin bottom 1, let's put margin bottom 2. And save it, come back here, Google Chrome, refresh, and it should be already, it looks a lot better. So here we're gonna put current user, okay? I'm gonna go put some Ruby code, and I'm gonna do okay, so let me just make this smaller. Current underscore user dot full name. Okay, save it and come back here and refresh. Look, Maria Santana. That's my name. That's my name. So Maria Santana is showing the current username. Now, what if the user wants to change this? What if the user wants to change this and they want to edit it? What are they going to do? So if they want to edit this name, Maria Santana, what we got to do is put it in a form, right? We got to put it in a form. And that's going to be, guys, it's going to be, please don't skip this part whatsoever. You're going to learn quite a lot right now over here. And we're trying to make some content editable. We're trying to make content editable. So if we're trying to make content editable, it means that we need to be able to click on this and change and edit. But this is obviously a form. It would be a form. We would have to actually add the form, just like in registrations, edit.html.arb. We would have to add a form. But because we have to add a form, we want to, of course, I would have to add form group. Okay. But if I add form group, it's going to look really, really ugly. It's going to look really, really ugly. So I don't want to add form group, okay? Sorry, form control. I don't want to add form control. So but if I do, I need to add form control in order for the user to understand that this is an editable thing. Otherwise, you have to click and put an edit button. So I'm gonna put, look, form-control. Okay, if I put form control and save it, and come over here and refresh, you're gonna see, oh man, this looks pretty damn ugly. And first of all, the form control is getting all the classes of the, round border 1 pixel, with border radius 2 pixels, but I can't edit it. So I need to do content editable by, and first of all, number one thing I want to do is, first of all, I'm going to remove this class. And I can do like a function on click with JavaScript. Okay, do a function on click, show this class, right? The minute you click on it. But then what happens, that's going to be a problem, because when you click away, like so for instance, like I can put when you click away, it's gonna be the same again. It's never gonna change. Okay, it's gonna be ugly, guys. It's gonna be ugly, and so please. Now what I'm gonna do is come back here to Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna come down to the bottom and right here, and you can like literally come here on click. So do something like on click, make content editable. Okay, so here you'll see W3 schools and their content editable. You can literally basically follow this here. So right like this. So on click, I can't edit this right now, but if I try it, if I click try it, look, I can. Now I can edit it. I can do whatever I want. I change my name and I click away. But do you really want to put like a click here every single time? So we want to put the click in here. Okay, and I'm gonna do sort of like something similar, but the problem with this though is that the minute like I click away, I want to be able to click on it, and when I click away for it to return to its original place. And plus, I want to add a class. I want to add a class called form control, but not form control. I'm gonna add it. Yeah, I want to add a class called form control. All right, so come back to. I'm gonna close this. You can find all your answers online, but if you wish to follow mine, I think it's important that you follow mine right now. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. I'm learning with you guys, but you can make mine better. Maybe it's not necessary, but for me, I believe that right now I can put some JavaScript, even though it's going to be a couple of lines or whatever. Who knows? I've done this a couple of times in the past, and it worked for me. So I'm going to put a script tag here. And inside that script tag, I'm going to add an ID. So I'm going to create an ID. And I'm going to call this ID. I'm going to call this make editable. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to add an ID inside of this. I'm going to call this ID equals to make editable. Make editable. Copy that. So I added an ID. So now what I'm going to do is inside my script, I'm going to do a document get element by ID. So document document dot get element get element by ID. No. I can do a get element. I can add an event listener. So the document dot add event listener. So document add event listener, and over here, and guys, in your careers, you're gonna run into this a couple of times. So you're gonna know the keywords. So sort of like Google something like add event listener on click. These are keywords that you need to be able to remember, so you know where to get the answers. Okay, and how to find it. So here I'm gonna put click. So add an event listener, click, and then I'm gonna create a function. So I'm gonna create a function. And I'm going to call that function event, okay? Right? I'm going to call this function, I'm going to, no. I'm going to create a function. I'm going to pass it event, okay? I'm going to pass it event. Oh boy. And after that, after that, I'm going to do that. And inside of there, what else am I going to add inside of there? I'm going to create a variable. Should I create a variable? Yeah, I'm going to create a variable. Create a variable and make it equal to what I copied earlier, which is the make editable ID element. Okay, element make editable element equals to, again, document dot. Now we're gonna say get element by ID. Now we're gonna do a get element by ID. That's crazy. Oops. Document.getElement by ID. I don't have autocomplete for JavaScript, which sucks. And then I'm gonna pass it inside. Well, I'm gonna say get that, right? I'm not gonna pass nothing. I'm just gonna say get that. And after that, I create that variable. I'm gonna do target element. Target element, and I'm gonna do event dot target. Okay. So that way I can target that element, right? So this is basically when the element gets clicked. The minute that element gets clicked, so the minute this element gets clicked like that, I'm going to target that element. That element make editable, okay? So after that, I'm going to do a loop. So while that element is a target element, okay, so that we can do a click inside will allow us to add a class called form control, and it will also allow us to make the content editable the minute it's clicked. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. A click inside is gonna allow us to add a class. So for that purpose, we need to do an if statement with a loop. So always keep running a loop and say something like if the target element is equal to if the target element is equal to the make editable element. So if the target element is equal to make editable, always make sure that you have a form control and the content is editable. Okay. Oh, I'm not good at explaining this at all because obviously I haven't mastered this, but I'm trying my best, guys. All right. So now I'm gonna do. All right. So I'm gonna do a do, and inside of here I'm gonna do an if statement. Okay. If statement. If the target. Okay. So I'm gonna do an if statement with if the target element is equal to make editable element. Okay, make editable element. If the target element is equal to make editable element, then over here I'm gonna do make sure that so whenever the click is inside, do absolutely nothing except for add the form control and make the content editable. Okay, so I'm gonna do here a document. Man, I'm just so tired of this. Oh, I wish I had autocomplete. Document dot get elements by ID. Document dot get element by ID. And I'm gonna pass it. Well, no, I'm gonna say get make editable. Make editable. Okay, and then I'm gonna say add. I'm gonna use the class list add. So class list dot add. I'm gonna do form control. Form dash control. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Form dash control, like that. So if the target element is equal to make editable element, so add the class list dot add form control. That's what I want. That's for sure. For sure, I want to add that form control class inside that element, that make editable element with that ID, so that it looks like so we can edit it. And then I also want to do the same thing. Hang on a second now. Just copy this, enough typing, copy that. And in here, I'm going to do content. Instead of class list, I'm going to do content editable equals true. So do dot content, and you can do this, you can Google all this. Content editable. That's why JavaScript is so much fun. You can play around, do whatever you want. Equals true. So content editable equals. So and this takes practice, and guys, it's a journey. It's a journey. So if you have to sit down and look at it, as long as you know where to come back in the project in the future, maybe like a month from now, you're gonna be working on something. You want to do something like this, just come back in the future, look at your project, see what you did here, and then boom, you'll remember it. It's that easy. And then eventually you just memorize it, or at least know where to get half the answers, and you just do copy paste, or then you study it even more. And if you study it every day, then you become an expert in it. So don't worry about it. Everything is normal. The engineers, the doctors, none of these people memorize stuff. Okay, so you just gotta know where to get it. You gotta remember the keywords. So that's all I want to do for now, and that's all I want to do. And then here at the end of my do, I want to do this while it's a target element. Okay, so while it's a target element, yeah, target element, just like that. So once this is done, what else I want to do is I want to make sure that no. So while it's a target element, and then the end, no, this is the if. This is the if. Okay, so I also need to go to the DOM as well. I need to go up on the DOM, and then make sure that my target element is equal to the target element on .parent node. Yeah, but let's just leave it like that, see what happens. And oh boy, this is a while loop. While all right, let's just do and then we need to remove it. Oh man, let's do a command save here. Come back here and refresh this. Let's see what happens. So this is the moment of truth. I'm going to click on Maria Santana, and nothing happens. Yeah, of course nothing happens, because we need to do add event document dot add event listener, click function event. So okay, so I'm gonna come back. Yeah, so what I need to do is I need to target the element. So I'm gonna say target element equals to target element dot parent node. Okay, to go up in the DOM. So the target element is equals to the target element dot parent node. Okay, and also we forgot to add this. Okay, so save it. Come here, refresh, inspect, syntax error, make editable. Oh, okay. So var make editable element equals document dot get element by ID. But where did I make a mistake? Oh, I'm gonna change this to EVT and change this to EVT. Okay, just to avoid confusion. And then, but where is my syntax error? What am I forgetting here? Save it. The equal. Oh. Target element equals event dot target. What's wrong with that? Document dot get element by ID make editable element. I'm not sure why this isn't working. Unexpected token. Uncaught syntax error. Unexpected token. Okay. Guys, I really don't know what the problem is. This is the problem with JavaScript. I suck at it. And oh, wait a minute. Hang on a second. We need to add a return here. We need to do a return. Return. But that's still not the problem. Anyway, let's see. Again, that's I have no idea. Uncaught syntax document. Oh. Okay. So this one here, that's wrong. That is wrong. Document. See, document like that. Save it. Come over here. Oh, console elements. So what's the second? Make editable. The make editable. Get element by ID, make editable. There's nothing wrong with that. This is perfectly fine. The only reason why it's not working is because JavaScript sucks, or because I suck at JavaScript. We have target element equals event.target. Wild target element. God, I can't believe this is such a long video. I have no idea how I'm gonna upload this. I feel terrible, guys, for you guys. Let me just pause this video. Sorry. And guys, of course, since I don't work with JavaScript at all, here we have an equal sign. I'm just so used to, whenever I think of variable, I think of, something equals, like x equals. And here again, I'm sorry, it's var. It's saying, hey, this is a variable equals. The equal sign is right here. This is like an extremely minuscule problem, and I've been stuck almost freaking 15 minutes. Sorry I made you go through all this. Save this and it's gonna work. Sorry, I'm yelling. So save this, it's gonna work now. Do a refresh, and we're not gonna have any problems in the console. Again, now let's click on, there you go. So now if you click away, it's not gonna work, of course, because the editable is gone, but we need to do something else. We need to also add, after this, over here, we also need to say document, and it's to avoid problems. I'm gonna just copy this since this is correct. Copy that. So paste it in. I'm gonna say document get element by ID, make editable, class dot list, and then put remove here. Remove form control. Okay, so save that. Okay, so this is gonna be when we click outside, because you see this one here is when you click inside the element, okay? And this is just a variable, okay? And this when you click inside, and this one when you click outside, okay? So let me just actually put a comment in here. When we click the name inside, okay, and then just return, yeah. So just add the form dash control class and make it editable content. Then return and just return and just return. And then over here, here we go to the DOM. And over here, when user clicks outside the name or outside the element, and this element, guys, is this one here. It's basically this: when the user clicks outside of this, inside that name, because that's where the make editable is. Make editable. Okay, so I just did this. Now if I do Command S to save, come back to put adoption, refresh it, and then look, boom, click away, boom, click away, boom. And of course we can't save it now in the database because I didn't add the form 4. We need to add the form 4, but right now we're just concerned about how it looks. Okay, so you click away. But another thing is that I don't like this, how it looks, how it goes like bang, like that. So no, look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do inspect, okay, and the minute I click on it, I'm gonna click on it just so I can now look. You see how this form control is added? If I click away, look, that form control is gone. And then if I click on it again, that form control is added. So this form control, if I look over here, I don't want it to be jumping like that, like a crazy thing. Like this doesn't look professional at all. So let's find form control. This is form control. So I'm gonna grab form control. Just trust me when I tell you this. Grab form control, copy the whole thing. Come over here, come to application.scss. And I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but I think I'll just put it like in my helper classes, okay? All right. All right, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, but I'm gonna change the name of form because I'm gonna put another class. I'm gonna put here editable dash form control. I'm gonna copy. Hang on. Now the editable form control. I want it to display block height, all that stuff. I want it to be exactly like the form. I want it to look exactly like the form. The only thing I don't want is I don't want to have this transition. This transition. Transition. Just put none here. The border radius, I don't want it to have a border radius because that's not going to make it jump. That's not why it's jumping. The border 1 pixel solid, exactly. I don't want that border 1 pixel solid. Background clip, I don't want a background. Initial, I'm going to put initial here. Initial, okay? Just meaning like just leave it the way it was, initial. Background color, the same. Color, same. Line height, 1.5. All that stuff is gonna be all the same. Why? Because that's why it's jumping. That's why when you see it here, it's jumping because all these line heights are different. Everything is switching. So you don't want this big jump like that. Okay, so if I grab this like that without the border around, it's gonna kind of like and come back to so first of all, save that, come back to dashboard HTML, come over here to where the element is, where we have the full name. And if I add this class here, remember there's no form control here. The form control is added by JavaScript. But if I add this class editable form dash control, if I save it and come back here and refresh this, look what happens. It's gonna have everything a form control has. The only difference it's not gonna have is that border, because we're not showing the border. But the minute we click on it, it's not gonna jump anymore. There, see? And another thing I want to do is I want to remove all this ugly space around this. Like, my gosh, we got to remove all that. We have to remove all that. And what we can do is, this is extremely hard because this is the inset. This is called inset. Inset. Okay, the inset. It's a very big problem. It's a part of the gosh, I don't know. I think it's the content editable form control and the input in. I think it's the inset, but I don't know how to get rid of it. I think if we could do inspect and then the minute it's clicked on focus, you see that's now it's not focused. But if we right click and we force state and we click focus, there you go. You see that blue? That it's impossible to get rid of. It's like the biggest pain in the butt. The biggest. Even if we remove all this stuff, look, it's always going to be there. That's just part of Chrome. It's the biggest pain in the butt, and it's never going to go away. This form control focus. So I guess the border color. What if I did? What if I said white? No, just white like that. And outline, box shadow. Just do it like that. That's gonna at least. This is bad for user experience. All I want to do is just not Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. All I want to do is just not show. Okay, guys, I will add it on the next video. I'm gonna add it in the description. I'm gonna add on the description the CSS. Geez, should I add it in the description? So okay, let's move on. Okay, so Maria Santana, that can be changed, and then this here, make editable, and I'm gonna edit this editable form control. I'm gonna copy this. I'm just gonna add it here so that save it. So it's the same thing. It's gonna be sort of the same thing. There we go. There. So this $40, it's not gonna be $40. Obviously, it's gonna be It's gonna be location. No, it's gonna be status. This is gonna be status. Status. So now we are done with the meat and potatoes, guys. Why? Because we have a sort of like, we've picked up a way to do this. We picked up a way. Everything looks a little bit better. We have some stuff here, like okay, save that. Come back here. As you can see, this looks pretty good. It looks pretty good because look, if you're here and you want to do that, look, you're here. You're Maria Santana. You don't like your name. You want to change it. Maybe you don't like your status. You want to say active or not active. So of course, status. Here I can do a span status span dot text dash success. Okay, and here of course we're gonna put Ruby code later. I'm gonna say active. Is it success or I don't know, whatever it is. Save it, refresh it. There, status active. Perfect. Amazing. So that's what I'm saying. And then Maria Santana, but I think it's probably I think it's, instead of putting form control here, we can just say ML-2 just to see if it, instead of putting form control there, ML-3, save it here, and then there, and instead of large, they put font weight, remove the font weight thing. And then we'll put text gray instead of text gray. No. Text small, or here, like that, or text extra small, XM. Is it XM? extra small, XS. Save it, come back here. Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? Let me just come back, Command Z, Command Z, Command Z, font weight bold, text, TEXT-XS. That's what happens when you don't pay for a theming. You are like styling, doing HTML, CSS, and programming and working on logic and the database and the architecture and all that stuff. That's what happens. So when someone tells you build me an app, you tell them it's $200,000 because it's going to take literally a freaking year by someone by themselves. And if you don't know the business model or the business rules of what everything is supposed to do, everyone thinks it's so easy. Just do it. So come back here. Of course, it's not extra small. It's going to be small. SM. Save it. Come back here. Whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. H5. Let's do an H4. Maybe that's going to be smaller. Whatever. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna work on this later. I'll work on it later. As long as you guys understand status active, this is fine. It's not fine. This is just making me mad. So text gray 800, that's the problem. Maybe this is the problem. Text gray 600. Save it here. I'm just messing around. Okay, that's just the text. Let's just remove this anyway. Okay, guys, I guess I had enough. And I think you guys had enough too. And again, look, I can click on this later. We'll be able to. Okay. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in part 15. In part 15, we'll definitely be working on the dashboard. So I'm going to say part 15 is going to be improving the user dashboard, okay? And it's going to be less of this HTMLing. It's going to be more programming again. And we might add a couple of extra fields to the user. So I'll see you guys in part 14. Thanks for putting up with me. And I hope you enjoyed this JavaScript also that we added for the DOM. And see you guys in part 15. Bye-bye. And guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please support my channel because I'm really enjoying sharing everything I'm learning from you guys and working together with you guys. And again, the repository, you can see it at the bottom. You can do a git pull or you can view the CSS and the HTML that I've added, okay? See you guys later. Bye-bye.